Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. Bro, I don't know what it is, man. My allergies are acting up so bad right now. I can't breathe out of either nostril. That shit is the worst. My daughter's sick, so I'm probably getting sick, to be honest, unfortunately. Y'all know how that shit goes. But, happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. First and foremost, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there who unfortunately have to play the father role as well. You know, that's the reality of some of these single ladies' lives, you know. The same thing goes for fathers, you know. Some of the fathers out there playing the mom and dad role. Sometimes that's just how it is, you know. Sometimes that's just how it is. But, yeah, man. Happy Father's Day to everybody. This is officially my last year in the 20s. I don't know how I feel about it. My 29th birthday. The thing I was most excited about was eating. As you guys know, I've been on my fitness journey for a while. So my birthday was my cheat meal, cheat day. And it was fucking awesome. I ate myself into essential food coma. I was in bed by 9. I was asleep, literally passed out. Like someone hit me with a fucking horse tranquilizer by 9:15. So that was my birthday. Woke up the next morning feeling like $1,000,000. Got back to the program, and here we are now. That was my weekend. But, yeah, man. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to all the mothers that are playing the father's role. Also being a mom. You guys are appreciated. Being a father changed my life. And hopefully you guys out there that are fathers cherish the time with your little one. It's a beautiful thing. Anywho, I'm going to try to push through tonight, man. I literally cannot breathe at all right now. Orlando was good. Kyle, James, Monty, Dom. Who we got? Coolio, Jordan, Jabdim, Pablo, Tony, Toja, Reese, Rhea, Pascal, Legit, Keys, DJ, Brianna, what's up? Gameboy Tommy, Rhea, Shane, what's good, brother? P Dizzle, MYK, Wally Wall, Raph, Jen, Jabdim, Jerry. What's good, everybody? Woo. I don't know if I have one of those things down here too for my nose. My DoorDash is gonna be here in like 3 minutes though, so I'm about to go grab that in a second. I got some graham crackers because I made a strawberry ninja creamy. I know I put some graham crackers in it to replicate a Cold Stone strawberry blondie. So I got some sugar-free Cool Whip graham crackers, and yeah, man, I'm so excited. Bro, I still can't get over the fact I can eat a whole pint of ice cream for less than 300 calories with 50 grams of protein. Like, that's insane. Anywho, happy Sunday, everybody. I can barely breathe over here. But, let's get it, man. Let's get it. June 21st, coming off a essential extended weekend. Stock market was closed Friday. Let's see what we got here. First things first, economic calendar. Monday, we're good to go. Tuesday, PMI, 945. Wednesday, new home sales at 10 a.m. Thursday, big day here. PCE, GDP, durable good orders, jobless claims, all at 8:30. This could be a big morning here. Next, we have Friday, very chill day with consumer sentiment. So the star of the show this week is Thursday. Uh-oh. What happened here? Thursday is the big day this week. PCE, GDP, DGO, and jobless claims. All right. Let's get into the important stuff here. Damn, bro. Is my stuff here yet? No, not yet. Not here yet. Alright, let me fix that. Alright, that's good to go. Alrighty. What's good, everybody? Yo, I gotta find that little thing for my nose, because I cannot breathe where the fuck right now. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Because when I tell you I can't breathe, I can't fucking breathe, bro. I gotta grab this DoorDash order too, so let me do that real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Ah. Good morning from Asia. Holy shit. Morning time? Bro, I need something. I got some gum. And that kind of helped a little bit. Had to grab my DoorDash order. Got some sugar-free caramel. Sugar-free Cool Whip for my Ninja Creamy. I'm so excited. That's crazy. What time is it in Asia right now? Oh yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Tokyo, it's 10 o'clock. Beijing, 9. Bangkok, 8. Okay, I can breathe a little bit better. Not much, but should be able to get the job done here. Dude, the Boom Boom nasal stick is life-changing. For sure. I just don't have it with me right now. It's at my office. That is life-changing. Alright, sorry for the delay, guys. We're going to get right into it. Bro, I will never stop talking about that Ninja Creamy. That's the best thing since sliced bread. No bullshit. Alright, here we go. Here we have NQ, right? We all know what's going on here. Right? We got this current monthly candle with the massive wick. That's bullish, right? Even though it might not be healthy, it is bullish, no matter how you look at it. We got that new weekly higher low, and going into this week's session, we have that inside bar. So these are our parameters here. Previous week's high, previous week's low. These are the big levels going into this week's session. Now, obviously, what's most important is the context. We're bullish. So technically speaking, as long as we're above that previous week's low, we are bullish. Fresh higher low here on the daily after holding that demand. So my mindset this week is, as long as we're above that 30,000, we have no choice but to really be bullish, right? That's pretty much the name of the game here. Specifically, tonight's structure, right? Low. And we're continuously making higher lows here, including tonight. So long as we're above that 3,300 specifically tonight, this is bullish, right? And right now we're contained between that recent higher low and lower high. So we're trading in between that previous week's low, previous week's high. Those are your big levels. But as far as tonight goes, as long as we're above really 35.70, you could be bullish here. If we lose that, sure, we could probably see some short-term downside, but you know, we're looking very strong. Very, very strong. Specifically tonight, right? We had that low, attempted to go lower, reclaim, and fucking ripped, right? So, you know, this is a very bullish chart. Same thing with ES here. We had that major demand hold, higher low last week's session, but again, we have an inside bar here. So that's my big focus, okay? Previous day's high, previous day's low. Right here. Right here. These are your two big levels on ES, right? If we pull back, sweep, and reclaim, that's a good long entry. If we pop, fail, that's a good short entry. Your top watch, though, obviously on ES is going to be continuation, right? Break and hold above 75.80 for longs. Break and hold below 74.70 for shorts. This would kind of be considered that big no trade zone, as this is inside of that previous day and week. YM here this is a bullish scenario. Swept that previous week's low and held tonight. So, carrying forward, long as we're above 5170 here on YM, this is bullish. Going into this week's session, if we're above 51,720, this is bullish. Okay? As you guys can see here, that is a major demand. And what do? Swept that low, made a new low, failed to go lower. So if we can get an hourly higher low above 51,720, that's your A plus long entry back into 52,380, 52,700. Now, the bearish scenario is if we lose that. 51,720, we have another 500 points lower, back down into this structure here. So this is your big focus point on YM. RTY, pretty bullish, right? We have our higher low, kind of forming a little flag here. But again, we do have an inside bar. So this week, or really tonight, tomorrow, your big focus is 2970. If we're above that, we're bullish. Another big level here to watch is 3000. Look at that. If we get above 3000 here, this should be a clean squeeze into all-time highs, all right? So your big levels here, 3000, 2970. Gold. This is a tricky chart, but a nice chart. It is a nice chart. So here on gold, excuse me, number one, major demand hold. Number two, major supply rejection. So we're in a very tricky area here, right? We came down, held the demand, but then we popped and failed that supply. So now we have a low and we have a lower high. The question mark here is, do we make a higher low and then rip, or do we hold this lower high and trade lower? What you need to focus on gold is right here. 4,200, 4340, 4040. We're above 4,200. That's your long entry back into 4340s. If we lose 4,200, we should see lower. Okay, so that's your big level here. Silver, pretty much identical chart, right? Major demand hold after rejecting that supply. Popped right back into that structure. Failed. Breakdown. Beautiful trade, by the way. This is, if you guys want to study a textbook supply rejection, this is your chart right here. Structure. Look how clean this is. You have a high, attempted to go higher, failed, broke that structure, retested, adios. Like, this is the definition of an A plus reversal right here. 72, 63. But anyway, what you're watching here on silver is 65.50. Okay, if we can hold that, this can see a lot higher into 69. But if we lose that 65.50, we're very likely going to see these lows again. All right, so that's a big inflection point there. Now, NQ. If you want to go long, you can go long here. Right, I'm just being honest. I don't see why we wouldn't continue higher. Right, we are extended, obviously. We just made a 300-point move. But if you look at what we did on this chart just now, what did we do? We had that gap down. We created that gap. We just broke that structure, retested, made a new higher low, and held. So realistically, we should get back into that 3,700. If we get above 3,700, this goes back into that previous month's high. All right. Your next big level here on NQ is 3,700. ES, same thing, 75.50. Anywho, AMD, beautiful chart here. Last week, pulled back, held that demand, fresh higher low, one of the strongest names last week's session. You guys can see here, clear demand hold, just reclaim that structure. AMD, I like for longs, as long as we're above 500, 505. I also like AMD if we can get above 558. Should get a new all-time high squeeze. All right. Next, Microsoft. This is scary. We have lost that weekly 200 MA. We have been below the daily 200. But this is Microsoft's last chance. As you guys can see, we're approaching that major demand. And this name has been extremely weak relative to the market. So what I want to watch here is essentially an open-ended setup, right? We had that major supply rejection downside. So our big level here is 382. If we're below 382, I still like shorts here in the 370, 360. But if we hold this demand, reclaim 382, that is when the squeeze risk goes up astronomically. Okay, so your big level here is 382. AVGO. I don't trade this name often, but the chart looks good. What do we have here? Pull back into demand. Number one. Number two, we held that daily 200. Most importantly, we reclaimed that structure at 400. Lastly, we have a massive gap fill here. This is my top watch. As long as we're above 400 here, I like this for longs. Point blank simple. If we get above 427, that initiates that gap fill and opens the door for a move into 440 and then 470. Okay? This is my top A+ setup under those two conditions. 400 hold, above 427. This looks very, very nice, especially with that weekly higher low. NVIDIA, looks like identical chart, right? What do we have here? High, high, pullback. High, high, pullback. Identical chart. Pullback held demand, daily higher low. One big level to watch here. 213. If we can get above 213 on NVIDIA, I love this for longs back into that 220 area. Now, I also want to add here, if NVIDIA does something like this, break, fail, and get weak, shorts can come into play. This is called an opportunity level at 213. This has been a significant level for a long time now. So this is an area where you want to trade, whether it's above or off that failure. Next we have Meta, a name that's relatively weak, but look at what we're approaching. Third test of this macro trendline support from 2020. On top of that, we're sitting at this demand, but we're also below that supply. So Meta here, yes, we're relatively weak. We all know that, right? Last week, we broke that base at 600, retested, got slammed. I only care about Meta under two conditions. 600, 557. Market gets weak or Meta continues to underperform. We lose 557. We have a lot lower into 520. This would be our no trade zone. If Meta gets strong, market holds above 600, it squeezes back into 620, 640. All right, so your big levels here, 600, 560. All right. Lastly, Netflix. This chart. What's going on with my trading view? Here we go. Netflix, look at this. No-brainer dip buy. If Netflix gets down to the 70, I will be buying it. That's number one here. Number two, as you can see, we're approaching a big demand here at 75. Netflix has been extremely weak relative to the overall market. So I do like this for continued downside under two conditions. One, fail 80. Pop, fail, that's a short opportunity. Two, below 75. We should get that move into 70. Listen to me closely. Anything under 75 into 65, this whole area is the DCA area. If we break 75 on Netflix, add a position. We come lower, we add more. Come lower, we add more. Netflix at the 65 area is a great buy. I'm going to explain why. Number one, we're sitting at that 0.5 retracement. Okay? Number two, we have the big pocket of demand here. Number three, we have that weekly 200 MA. Netflix is also sitting down 43% from highs. If we get down to that 65 area, that'll be 50% from highs. That is my criteria to add long term. So this is an A plus long term add if we can get down into that 70, 65 area. And short term, like I said, we can capitalize off that downside if it does continue lower. But this is a no-brainer here. Okay? You guys can see just as well as I can. Massive demand, weekly 200 MA, 0.5 retracement. No-brainer. All right? And, yeah, man. That's what I'm watching this week. That's why I'm watching it. I do have a couple moments here. I got to go put these groceries away, so I don't have much time. But if anybody's got any last-minute questions, tickers you want me to check out, now is your time. Sorry for the shorter live tonight, but I got to get these groceries away. I didn't want to take up too much of your guys' time. And, yeah, man. So whatever you guys got for me, now's your time. Whether it's trading, personal, business, to ticker. I'll check out a couple tickers. Let's get it. Yeah, Netflix is going to be a good one for sure, man. I'm very excited for this week. Tonight's already starting off pretty hot. NQ's looking good. ATR has been fairly nice. I mean, tonight, the ATR was at 45. Right now, it's at 30. That's great. Hood, I will check out. Sure. Hood, oh my god. I can't believe I missed that. How did y'all let me miss that? That was the generational dip buy on Hood. Where the fuck was I at? Look at that. Oh my god. If you missed that dip buy, you should have definitely added. I feel like we discussed this, no? Weren't we watching this for a swing? I swear we were, but you should have bought Hood here. If you didn't, you're a clown. I'm a clown. If you didn't buy Hood there, you should have bought it here. Anywho. Hood is simple. Long as we're above 93, 95, bullish. Go long and hold. Simple. That's it. Just reclaim that daily 200. Long as we're above 95, send it. What else we got? Tesla, sure. Got a nice build here on Tesla. Sitting right below that daily 200. It's been slammed here a couple times. What you want to watch on Tesla is essentially 380, 420. Now you're going to say, yeah, that's a very wide range, Felony. And I'm going to say you're not wrong. But look at what Tesla has done inside of it. It's done a whole lot of nothing. So I would watch Tesla above 420 or below 380. Apple, sure. Apple I love. We're in an Apple swing too. Look at this. Beautiful. Resistance. Support. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Long as Apple is really above 287, 290, I like Apple longs. Right? This is a trade you just have to take. There's no question. I also like this little build on Apple, right? We have the demand hold, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. My concern is, though, the supply. But as far as Apple goes, big level here is 295, 305, 287. If you want to trade this in terms of day trading, if we lose 294, we're likely going back to 287. But if we can hold that 294, we'll get back up into the 300s. Okay. Nvidia, yeah, we already discussed Nvidia. Let's see what else we got here. Crypto, sure, we'll check it out. Bitcoin, this is good. This is good for longs. We're starting to get a base. Swept that previous low. We held. We now have a higher low above 60,000. If Bitcoin can get back above 68, the squeeze potential here is high. So, you know, if we can build a little bit more here on Bitcoin, we could start looking at an add to our swing. Definitely. Bitcoin could be shaping up here. It's too early to tell, but we could be seeing something here on Bitcoin in terms of upside. We definitely could. It just held that 60,000 demand, held that weekly 200. We've held that for some time now. So that's big. But, you know, it's too early to tell. Ethereum also holding major demand here. We're reclaiming that previous low. So, yeah, we could be getting a nice little base here on crypto. We'll see. We'll see. Could be getting a nice little base here. Microsoft we already discussed. What else do we have here? Side note, if anybody took NQ, you're cooking. That was nice. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. I caught a beautiful trade tonight. Beautiful trade. I went short initially here. Caught a nice little, almost 100-point move. And then I missed this entry. I missed that short. And then I missed the long. But I only caught one trade. I caught this short here. I am obviously an NQ, but now... let's see. What else we got here? Bro, prop firms have caught on to me, man. It sucks too, bro. I'm about to start trading under other people's names. Who wants to let me trade? I'm just kidding. If any prop firms are listening, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I would never do that. Alright? Just kidding. Please, no one else ban me. I've already been banned enough. Leave me alone. Fast? What the fuck is that? Fastenal? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I have no clue about this company. Don't know what it is. Don't know what's going on here. But I would say as long as we're above 45, 43, I would say this is bullish. That's what I would say. So good luck. Can I make a YouTube video on futures? How about this? Just go to the Learning Center, and there's a full Intro to Futures course for you right there. Alright? It's waiting right here for you. Bam! If you got any questions after that, just tag me, I'll answer them. Alright? Start off by doing that. SoFi? Sure. Big level here is 15. We can all see that. 15 is a big demand we're continuing to hold. Your next big level here is 20. You know, if we can build off this 15 level and get back above 20, the squeeze risk here is very, very high. So your big levels are that 15 and 20. Where are the questions at, man? I don't think you guys understand. And, bro, if I literally had a trader I could learn from live, right? Sitting there saying, hey, ask me anything. Trading, personal, business. Bro, I wouldn't shut up. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are asking me to check out tickers and stuff like that. That's cool. But this is what I say, even like first step trading or even minties, bro, ask a question. You know what I mean? Don't be scared. Even if it's something super beginner or if it's super advanced, ask it. The worst I can say is no, right? I'm likely not going to say no, but, ask it. You guys got to take advantage of what's in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not here to toot my own horn or anything like that, but there's not a single person in this space that does what I do at the level I've done it for as long as I've done it, right? That's a fact. It's undebatable. It's undisputable, right? It's a fact, right? Year after year, month after month, week after week, I've proven that, right? I've watched dozens and dozens and dozens of traders come and go. It's like a churn thing, right? It's like a revolving door. You see a new furu pop up. Hey man, they fall off. Bam, fall off. Bam, fall off. Like, you can tell who's really doing it and not doing it. The people who aren't doing it are overly focused on content, right? Like, I want to be honest with you. When I'm done with a trading day, I don't even want to look at a screen. So, for people who are like, oh man, yeah, I trade, I do this, bro, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, there's trading influencers, there's traders. You know what I mean? I'm a trader first. You know what I mean? That's 1000% for me. You know what I mean? I don't want to rely on social media to make money, because if that shit goes away, guess what? I'm cooked, right? If my social media goes away, guess what? I'm happier than fucking pig in shit, because guess what? I can still trade anywhere in the world. I can wake up butt naked and on top of a pyramid in Egypt. As long as I have my Starlink, I can trade. Right? Why is today Unk status? I just made a funny title. I'm almost there. Alright, let's see here. Is Lucid really my favorite right now? Because obviously I'm banned from Take Profit Trader. Apex, I'm waiting to go live. If I had to be brutally honest, I mean, Tradeify and Lucid are essentially identical. But yeah. Alright, got 5 minutes. Let's get these questions. How do I find confidence in my trades? I'm going to break this down with an analogy. Alright? When you have an electrician, right? Right, you have an electrician. They take an apprenticeship, right? They learn what wire goes here, what wire goes there, what to cut, when to cut it, why you're cutting it, how to solder them, what to check, when to check it, right? And they start off as an apprentice, right? And then they go through school, they get their experience, they get the education, they get the knowledge, they graduate to, a foreman or whatever's before that, right? And they get to the point where, they're a full-blown electrician. It's the same thing with trading, right? I found confidence in my trades through the proper education, experience, most importantly, right? That's why I tell you guys, there's a systematic approach to becoming a trader in general. One, you need the proper introduction to the market, right? Social media is not it. Social media is not the proper introduction. You need the proper introduction, right? The proper education, right? What to do, when to do it, why you're doing it. And most importantly, experience. Experience is going to be your best teacher. You develop an intuition, and right? And for those of you guys that have traded with me over the years, it's really hard for me to explain. And again, this is going to sound fucking retarded for me. And me even saying this right now sounds retarded. I can't predict what's going on in the market, but I've seen every single literal scenario, right? I've seen every single formation, candlestick, scenario in the market, bullish, bearish, consolidation. I've seen everything that I can literally see what's happening next. I know that sounds crazy to say, but those of you guys who traded with me for years, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's to the point where it's deja vu. I've been here before, right? Because if you look at these charts, I challenge you guys. If you look at this chart right here on NQ, right? If you look at this exact chart on NQ, I guarantee you, right, from tonight's open to right now, this exact move has happened before on either NQ or a different ticker. I can guarantee you. It's probably happened 10 times over. When I mean 10 times over, I mean identical from this candle to this candle to this candle. I guarantee you. The market is extremely repetitive. Right? Repetitive in the sense of what it does, not repetitive in the sense that you can predict what happened next. It's repetitive in the sense of what it does, right? To where, hey, I've been in this situation before, I know how to react, right? Just like tonight, for those of you guys who are in first step trading or a mentee, I stated down here, right, something big's coming. And that was purely just intuition and experience, right? I've been here before, right? I can't predict what's going to happen next, but I've seen this exact setup, formation, structure happen, and I've seen what happened next. It's not something that I can obviously make a decision based off of, but 100% of it is experience. You know what I mean? It's something that I can't put into words really, because it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy for me even say, right? Just like for example, you know, a boxer, right? When they box for so long, they develop this like sixth sense, right? They're watching a person's eyes, but with their peripheral, they watch the shoulders. So when someone throws a punch, they're not even watching their shoulders. It's just something they develop to naturally have that instinct to say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's natural, right? Or they duck right, automatically come back up with the right hook, right? It's something that you develop, just like football players, right? It's like a program, something that you get into. And that's why I tell you guys, like, experience is your best teacher. There's no way around it, right? Like, you can hand anybody an 100% win rate strategy, right? Someone who just started trading today. Here's a 100% win rate strategy. You can't fuck this up. They will fuck it up because they don't have the proper experience, right? It means nothing. Because a win rate doesn't really mean anything, right? It doesn't. You can have a 99.9% win rate and still be red. If the 0.01% of the time you take a loss, it's bigger than all your wins. You can also be a consistently profitable trader with a 0.01 win rate. So that means you lose 99.9% of the trades, but that 0.01% you do win, they're bigger than all your losses. So win rate is fundamental in knowing if you have a working system. But what's most important is profit factor, right? How much you profit on trades in terms of winning and losing trades. Like me, for example, you guys see me all the time. I've taken back-to-back losses. I've taken back-to-back-to-back losses. I've taken 3 losses in a row. But because of my system, you guys have witnessed this just recently. I've taken, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I took 3 losses back-to-back and 1 winning trade. All those losses were gone and some, right? And that's what a positive profit factor looks like, right? And that's ultimately going to equal profitability in the long term. But yeah, man, that's a big portion. Sorry, I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah. And I hope that made sense. You know what I mean? Like, I know it probably doesn't. Someone watching this, listening, like, this motherfucker's talking like he's a genie and he can say, bro, I have no clue what's going to happen next, but it's all experience, right? It's a lot of it is experience. Obviously, you got to have a system, you got to have a strategy, but a lot of trading is experience. Right? You guys always ask me, how do I sit in trades for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours? Bro, I've been doing this for almost 8 years now. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. You know what I mean? The first year I couldn't do it, obviously. The second year I couldn't do it, obviously. Third year I was still struggling. Fourth year, you know what I mean? It comes with time. All right. What else we got here? Jay, yes, the mentorship, you do get lifetime access. How much of your learning came from trial and error? I would say 99%. I'm hard-headed. I didn't have patience. I didn't have self-control. I didn't have discipline. I learned by learning what not to do. That's how I learned. Did something, fucked up. Hey, don't do that again. Did it again. Oh, hey, now you know, dumbass. Don't do that again. Did it again. Right? So that's just how I learned, unfortunately. Details about the mentorship, whatever you want to know, ask it. Now's your time. I do have to rock out, though. I got 5 minutes. When I trade Yu-Gi-Oh, how do you know exactly when it's going to squeeze? It's all price action, right? Like, for example, tonight, right? If you look at a candle like this, number one, the most important thing is context, right? We held a macro demand and we have a 150-point move. Why wouldn't we continue squeezing, right? What about that hourly candle said squeeze? I mean, what didn't say squeeze about that candle? You know what I mean? So it's you know, like I said, it's experience, you know? Also, obviously, having the knowledge of what to look for, when to look for it, why you're looking for it, you know? You posted it on IG about being down, not the problem, losing control is. Yeah, I mean, the problem, red days, right? They're inevitable. Red trades, inevitable. The problem is not taking a loss, right? The problem comes when that loss triggers a bigger loss, right? And that's why I always tell you guys, you have to know your triggers. And I know this sounds crazy to say, like we're in a therapy session. You know, what is your trigger? I'm being dead serious. Like when I was first starting to trade, a trigger of mine was I would see a great setup. Like right now, I would say, hey, this is a great setup on NQ, right? We had the macro demand hold. We have nice strength. We broke the gap. We filled the gap. We pulled back. We got a higher low. This is a great long setup, right? Wait for this candle to close. Once it closes strong, I'm going to go long. My stop loss will be at a higher low. My target's here, right? I would fully plan out my trade. My entry's here. My stop loss is here. My target is here. And you know what I would do? I would sit there. I would watch the trade do this. Go straight to my target. And I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it. And then once it got to my target, I would get so much FOMO. I'd be like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to take it now, right? I ended up chasing the top, ends up reversing, and that was a trigger for me, right? After this, that loss, it was all over. I was blowing the account one way or another. Whether it was, back then, obviously, it was my own capital, so it didn't matter, right? That was a trigger for me. Hesitating, missing a trade, getting FOMO, right? There's always a trigger, right? That triggers something you're doing, right? Just like if you're walking in the store and someone bumps into you, right? As a man, what happens when you get bumped into by another man and they don't say sorry? That's like seeing red. You know what I mean? A motherfucker bumps into you. Yo, what's up, man? You know what I mean? You're not even meaning to. You know what I mean? You're not even meaning to. I guarantee you, fellas, you know what I'm talking about. Or even ladies. You know what I mean? Someone bumps into you. You're like, yo, what the fuck, man? You didn't even say sorry? But really, you didn't even know you did that. You know what I mean? It just naturally came out. That was a trigger for you. Right? Someone bumped into you, so you immediately, you're like, yo, what the fuck, man? Right? It's just the same thing with trading. Where something triggers a response, right? It triggers emotion. It triggers a feeling. Triggers you to do something else, right? Most of the time, it's negative, right? So you got to figure out your triggers. What makes you do X? What makes you do Y? And what is the result of X? What is the result of Y? And again, that goes into journaling, but that's another rabbit hole for another day. Why does Apex have you waiting? So I have no clue, man. It's been 2 months, by the way. Yeah, experience, man, experience. What event or moment caused the change that stopped you from blowing up and study your profitability? I mean, it just got to a point where I couldn't lose anymore. You know what I mean? I was literally working 60, 70 hours a week, literal blood, sweat, and tears by myself. Getting up, loading the trailer, putting gas in the truck, loading the weed whacker strings, cleaning everything, cleaning the carburetors, going out, parking a truck, walking all around the neighborhoods. I had a walk behind at the time, right? I'm talking about literal blood, sweat, and tears, right? Work a whole 60, 70-hour work week just to lose it on a Friday, right? What about that was okay? You know, it got to the point I was down 50, 60, one point almost 70K. Right? And obviously I seen the potential was there. If I could lose that much, I knew I could make that much if I knew what the fuck I was doing. And I had a little consistency here and there. But the big event was one day I just came to I just realized, like, bro, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't want to hurt any of you guys' feeling, but a lot of you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you can't trade on your own, why are you trading on your own? Why are you putting your own capital at risk every single day, not knowing what the fuck you're doing? So when I came to that point, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't. I thought I did, but I don't. Right? So that was number one, just taking accountability. I don't know what I'm doing. I have to gather my bearings. So I took a break for a little while. And then came back just trading extremely light. I was literally trading one contract on AMD. I told you guys this back when it was $30, $20, right? And I focused on one simple thing. Right, my pivot was obviously I was down a fuck ton. I had no choice. It was either quit or get my shit together. So I literally stopped trading with any money, really. Right, like I said, it was one contract. I don't give a fuck what happened. One contract, and I just focused on gathering data about myself. I would journal every single trade, every single day, and I would review them. Right, and obviously through trading, I started to notice, hey, you're good at this. Hey, you're not good at that. Hey, you did well here. Hey, you didn't do well there. You did well over there. You didn't do well over there, right? And all these things started coming together to where I was saying, hey, I'm piecing together a system here, right? I see what works good for me. I see what doesn't work good for me. Position size is not a question because it's not a variable. So that variable isn't inputted anywhere. So the more consistent I was, and it was just something as simple as sticking to my stop, being able to walk away, developing a bit of patience, right? So the big event was realizing that I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Right? My pivot was when myself said, hey, I want to learn this properly. I want to do this properly. In order to do so, again, you have to take accountability and you have to put your right foot in the right direction. But that's what really did it for me. That's the thing, man. Kevin also said, I lost control again on Friday and it sucked. I knew I was supposed to stop after 3 or 4 losing trades, but I couldn't just stop. And that's the hard part about trading, right? It's not hard to make money, right? I guarantee you every single one of you guys have made money, right? The hard part is keeping it. Because at the end of the day, you know who's sitting in front of the computer right now? Me. You. Right? If I go on tilt, no one's going to come up behind me and say, hey man, chill out, right? It's just you versus you. And that's where that self-control needs to be there. That discipline needs to be there. That patience needs to be there. If not, adios, amigos. And the thing is, on those big blow-up days where you lose control, you're losing so much more than money, right? You're losing confidence. You're losing trust within yourself. That's the worst, right? It's easy to replace money. You got a job. Next week, you'll have it back. Next month, you'll have it back. Money's easy to replace. But that confidence, that trust, that confidence, especially can't be replaced, right? That takes a while to build back up. So, the big thing is, man, is having that structure, knowing your triggers, right? And the big thing is getting the fuck up and walking away, right? There's 252 trading days a year. Live to fight another day. Live to trade another day. All right? And, yeah, man, I got to skedaddle. But, yeah, man. This is what I'm watching this week. That's why I'm watching it. You guys know what's going on. You guys know why it's going on. And let's have a great week, man. Let's have a great week, man. Let me make sure I got all my alerts here. Because I do want to trade into tomorrow. I do. So I'm going to look to get an entry we can swing overnight somewhere. I'm not sure yet. I think there is a possibility we fade too. I do. I don't think that's out of the question here. Because we have this high. We have this lower high. We have this lower high. So if we make a lower high here on NQ, lose 35.70, we can be back at these lows in no time. Right? So I do think there is a world here where NQ can get down into that 3,300, potentially 30,000. I do. If NQ fails this 3,700 again, I think there's a great possibility we see 3,300 by tomorrow. Right? So it all depends on what we do overnight here. ES, same story, right? We have our lower high, failure to go higher, lower high. If we lose that previous day's low, 7,500, that's it. So I think there's great opportunity here either way it goes. Just like we talked about with YM. If we can pull back and hold here, sure, that's a great long opportunity. But if we pull back, lose that 51.70, that's an equal but better opportunity short back into 51.215. So there's a lot of opportunity here on these charts. Right now, what do we have to work from? Tonight we have a big dump. Tonight we have a big pump. There's really not much structure to go off of, right? We obviously have the big demand hold, but hey, now we have a big supply rejection, right? So, like I said, if we fail this 3,700, I think it's a great possibility that we see a substantial move lower. So tonight, we just got to be patient, wait for some structure to form, and go from there. What I'm watching here on NQ is this 35.70 right now. That's that previous structure. Also happens to be VWAP. If we could pull back and hold there, reclaim, I think that's a great long entry. Conversely, if we fail that 3,700, get that lower high, back below 620, this is what you're looking for shorts. Shorts, that's what you're looking for, something like that. If we get below 35.70, we should see that 3,300 again. All right? If we get that lower high under that 620, that also is an opportunity. So there's some nice stuff going on here. There's some nice stuff going on here. Gold, look at this. Just rejected that structure. If gold fails that 4,200 now, this can see a fuck ton lower. So, you know, yes, that pop tonight was nice, but we're just back into supply. Look at silver. Where are we at? In supply. Gold. Where are we at? In supply. Right? NQ. Where are we at? In supply. ES. Where are we at? In supply. YM. Supply. RTY. Supply. So, you know, as much as that little rip looks good, it really doesn't mean shit yet. We haven't really done anything. But, yeah, man. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm not gonna lie, I do have a fucking feeling that this turns into a bloodbath. I don't know why. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but I think that would be nice. It's wishful thinking. I'm open to the long as well, though. I'm open to that long as well. Yeah, I think we honestly do fail here. I do. I'm gonna do something a little janky here, actually. What am I risking? 60 points? Huh. I'm gonna be a degen and send it. Why not? We just broke that previous hourly low. Risk 50 points. Why not? Stop was above the previous hourly high. If it breaks, I get stopped. Fuck it. Make me a believer. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. I was over here talking to myself. Anywho, as always, appreciate every single one of you guys, man. Taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. It's greatly appreciated. Especially you guys that ask questions and stay interactive, man. We're going to have some big changes to these streams moving forward. I can't speak about it too much. Obviously, all these other motherfuckers are watching my shit and always like to steal what I'm doing. So, you guys have to wait and see for that. But, yeah, man, again, thank you, everybody. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the night. I'll do everybody a solid tomorrow. We'll do some live trading. Everybody's able to join. Do some free live trading tomorrow for everybody. But only Monday. That's it. So enjoy it while it's there for Monday. Feeling generous. Alright? You guys have a great rest of your night. Peace, everybody.